Okay, so I thought I'd try something new today and do some live streaming where we just build things. Earlier in the week, I did a lesson on some kind of advanced CSS things or CSS tricks even for Stackademic, which is a free coding initiative that I'm part of. And one of the things that we looked at was how to create light and dark mode toggles and things like that. So I thought I'd just take that section of the lesson and recreate it. And you'll see how easy it is to build something like this. So first, let's just get rid of absolutely everything on this page and start from scratch. Okay, so the first thing we are going to want to do is just build out our HTML. Now, when we use CodePen, we don't actually need to do the kind of external parts or the outer elements for HTML. So we can just kind of start writing things as if we're already in the body. So let's create a side tag. And if anyone is watching along as well, please do let me know, because I'm trying this for the very first time with Streamlabs OBS, so I have no idea how this will go. Okay, then inside of here we're going to create a button. I'll put on click, and then we're going to put toggle, let's call it toggle dark mode. Okay, and then let's just paste in some emojis. Of course, you can make this look however you want, but for me, I'm just going to put these emojis in here. Okay, so we've got a button, which of course doesn't do anything at the moment. And then let's create a main. Let's just put some stuff in here. So let's put Sunil's super blog. Let's close that off. And we'll just paste in some more stuff here, because you'll get the gist of this. You're not here to find out about the HTML things. So okay, so we've put some content in, which there we go. Okay, so I've got some content, but of course it needs a bit of styling. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to leverage custom properties, or CSS custom properties. You may have heard of these before. You may have heard of them being referred to as CSS variables, which is effectively what they are. They're variable values. But the proper name for them is custom properties. So we'll create some of these, and for anyone who hasn't seen these before, you can put them anywhere in your CSS, but the kind of best practice is to put them in this root. So we've got colon root. In fact, we don't need any more. And then you typically identify them by putting hyphen at the beginning of each value, and they're just names. So let's continue to write some CSS. Let's use our good old box sizing border box. Okay, and then let's write some HTML stuff. Let's just grab any font. Let's just use the system UI, and we'll put sans serif on there as well. Font size 16 pixels, because it's good to set a default inside of the HTML. And then let's start to use these custom values here. So for anyone who hasn't used them before, you create the property as you would normally, and then what you do is you use the var property value, which is like a function. So we, inside of the parentheses, we then put the name of the property. So in this case, it was well, what was it? BG color. So we got BG color, and then that does the same thing. So that applies that value. Now, of course, we've not done anything yet, so it's just as is. Okay, so the light's flickering in my room. How strange. Let me just fix that. Right, hopefully that fixed that. That's the perks of really strange lighting. Okay, so right, so hopefully you've got an idea of how we use those values. So we're just going to paste in some additional code. So all we've done is just some h values. As you can see, we're using that variable again, but we're using the text color one here. And we're just going to paste in some more code as well. Let's change that because we've not set one here. So let's just do 768 pixels. Okay, so that gives us this. So nothing too fancy, but it does the job. Now let's write some JavaScript that will target this and allow us to be able to change these variables. Now, of course, you could theoretically do a light and dark mode that just toggles every single value throughout your entire document that you want to change. But the nice thing is, if you use these variables, then and you apply them throughout the document, then when it comes to changing them, you only need to change these two values rather than potentially trying to change everything that requires it. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just create, we'll just put dark mode active, and we're just going to create this Boolean value that we will use when toggling. Okay, so let's write our function now. So it was called toggle dark mode. And then inside of it, what we're going to do is first check if dark mode active, if dark mode is active. So in fact, let's rename this because I don't like that name. Is dark mode active? Okay, so if is dark mode active, then what we are going to do is, okay, so this computer seems to be going a little bit slow at the moment. Let's see if there's anything else I can close. Let's get rid of Spotify. We'll get rid of Adobe XD as well. Okay, so then now what we'll do is target those values. So we can do document dot document element dot style. Okay, so we're going to target the styles, and then what we'll do is set property. So we're setting, basically set property takes two values. The first is the property, and the second is the property value. For anyone who maybe is not aware of what we're referring to when we say these things, if we, for example, take a look at this HTML, CSS here, font family is the property. System UI, sans serif is the property value. So if we were going to change that, then we'd do property, font family, and then whatever we want to change it to. But of course, we're targeting the root here. So what we can do is actually just target those values. We don't have to say, okay, we want to target the HTML element or something like that. So we could actually just put here BG color, and then the second value would be what we want to change it to. So let's put black, and then we'll put semicolon, because I like to use semicolons in JavaScript. I know some people don't. Okay, so and then what we're going to do is target the text color as well. We'll change that to white. Okay, so we've got our if statement. And then what we'll do is we will do else. Now, of course, I know there are plenty of different ways that you could write this. I could have written if and done some stuff and then put return and then just had a base case, but we're just trying to make this nice and simple for anyone following along. And what we're going to do is in our else statement, so of course else means in this case if dark mode is not active, then we're just going to reverse these colors. Okay, so we should have written everything. So let's test this out, see what happens. So, okay, let's click it. How embarrassing. Sorry, I forgot one thing. I need to actually change the value, don't I, of is dark mode active. So, okay, so if it is active, then I need to set it to false. And then in the else statement, I need to set it to true. Before, it was just always set to false and nothing was changing it. So let's try this now. Okay, here we go. So just like that, with very little code, we've created the ability to set things in a really simple way. Let me just move myself over to this side of the screen so that you can see this properly. And there we go. Just like that, we've created a light dark mode toggle with hardly any code at all. And of course, you can do a lot more. You could set more complexity, different shades of colors and all sorts of things. And you can just do it all inside of the root with some custom properties. And then you could just target them here. And we could refactor this to make it a bit more dry and just nicer. But this is just a quick and easy way to create that, and I hope you found this useful. If you have, do let me know, and I can plan to record some more of these kind of quick